Here we have an Asus laptop that came in for no power. This is model Q325u. And it looks something like this. Very slim, compact. And we already removed the motherboard. And the motherboard is more like the size of a tablet's motherboard. Look at this. Just a tiny motherboard. And it's an expensive laptop. This whole thing is a battery, big one. Motherboard goes here. And just one tiny fan. Does this one flip 360? Yeah, this laptop flips 360, just like the HP Spectre laptop. Let me put this on the side and focus on the board. Why is the board not powering on? That's the question. Again, the board looks something like this. And this one takes in a USB-C charging cable. Every laptop or every motherboard that has a USB-C charging connector is failing, whether it's a Nintendo Switch or MacBook Pro or HP Spectre or Dell or Asus. Any laptop with the USB-C connector is failing. And the Asus laptop is using the same chip that fails on HP Spectre X360 laptops. Same exact chip. It's the common failing point on HP laptops. Let's do a quick visual inspection on the board. If I do not find anything obvious, I'm going to proceed to replacing that chip and see if the motherboard will work. We do not want to waste a lot of time. This board is not something that we work on every day, but I have experience with that chip. I have bad experience with that chip. The chip always fails. Looking for a burn mark or a blown component or missing component or just anything unusual. And back of the board, look at this. Back of the board is empty. I mean, this motherboard is a joke. This motherboard is a joke. And if you go on eBay, let's say, to buy one, you're probably not going to find one. And if you do find one, you'll see prices like $400 or $500 for that board. And the board is completely empty from the back, with exception to a few SMD components here and there. And only front of the board. You have the RAM, you have the CPU. I mean, not much to it. What is this? What is this? See why visual inspection is important? Because sometimes you find things that came from out of space. Oh, it's nothing. I think we're going to go ahead and proceed with replacing this IC. I'm currently at 440 degrees Celsius with 120 airspeed. And I got this thin, narrow nozzle. The bigger the nozzle, the more heat transfer. But right now I just want to restrict heat to that one chip. And out. I'm just applying leaded solder so we can mix it with unleaded, and that will make the wicking process, the cleaning process, a lot easier. Let's use our hot tweezers and solder wick. And just like that. Alright, and now it's time to solder a new chip. We're gonna apply just a tiny river of flux. And I'm gonna apply heat for about maybe 10 seconds. Then I'll let go. And then reflow that chip. I want the chip to make a good connection with the board. Alright. Let's check and see if the chip made a connection. And yes, it did. I'm gonna lower airspeed to about maybe 90 and go higher on temperature. 490. Alright, it just went in place. Very nice. The job is done. Assuming the chip is what's causing the problem. Let's wait until the board cools down a bit. We're gonna clean up and test. And cleanup is done. All right, great. We're gonna reassemble and test. I'll be back in a minute. Big Boss reassembled the laptop, and the final verdict is laptop is fixed. Laptop is working. Awesome. Amazing. The question is, how did I know that that chip is what caused the problem? I did not. I inspected the board under the microscope. We did not see any burned components. We did not see any discolored components. We did not see any missing components. And nothing was obvious on the board. We do not have any circuit or board diagrams for that motherboard. But I did notice that one chip, the same exact chip that's used on HP Spectre X360. And that chip is known to fail. I took an educated guess. I replaced the chip and laptop is working. We're gonna invoice and mail this back to the customer. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like and subscribe, leave a comment if you have any questions, and we'll do something else in the next video.